Saturday, March 19th, 2022. I want to talk about a few things today and kind of summarize some of the things we have watched take place over the last week, over the last few days. Also, I am going to add some clips of a mall. I went to the, I don't know what you call it anymore. It used to be the Westfield Mall in Palm Desert, California. They took the name off of it after it defaulted on a $125 million loan. I've been there a couple times. I was there last night, shot a little video, so stay tuned to the second half of this video, and I'll show you what's happening in the real economy, what's happening to our local mall that has defaulted on $125 million, now bankrupt, and what's happening to the average retailer. It's a bloodbath, ladies and gentlemen, so stay tuned, check that out. So what's next? What is next for the United States? What's next for the world? What's next in this economy? What's next for the US dollar? What's next for inflation? So many questions out there. Somebody wrote me yesterday and said that SD Bullion is completely sold out of junk silver. So I went to the SD Bullion website yesterday late afternoon, and yes indeed, they are sold out of junk silver. And what is that telling us? That's telling us that there's a lot of people out there that are not too comfortable with what is going on. There are a lot of people out there that are getting very fearful of where this is all going, and they are taking precautionary steps like buying gold, like buying silver, and putting it away. Somebody wrote me the other day, JB, what are you gonna do with your silver coins? Being, condescending, really. Well, let me say this to that individual as I wrote back. I own more than just silver coins, and you should too. You need to be very, very diversified. You better have security, you better have food, you better have water, you better have those silver coins, you better have barterable items, you better have some cash put away, you better have a lot of things. And the main asset you better have, which a lot of people who make these videos seem to ignore, is you better be walking close to God. We are no doubt in a very, very serious spiritual war now, ladies and gentlemen. But to these people who believe that, you have silver coins, that's going to save you. No, it's not going to save you, but it is definitely going to put the odds in your favor. It is going to increase your chances because you're holding real money that the entire world knows is real money, as we're watching the US dollar now being threatened by other monetary currencies now, such as the yuan. So to that person, I don't know what you're holding, probably a bunch of debt, probably a bunch of paper, maybe, I don't know what you're holding, a bunch of credit cards. I feel very, very comfortable holding silver, holding gold, especially when the dust settles and there is a new monetary system or an old monetary system that is probably going to have to be backed by something like gold, something that the world now is going to require has something backing it, because we're watching the world now begin to lose faith in the US dollar. So you tell me, what should we all be holding? To that individual out there, what should we be holding, or what type of things should we be holding? I'm certainly not going to be holding debt. I'm certainly, the only paper I'm going to be holding right now is some dollar bills, and I know that that's on borrowed time. But other than that, and other than the necessities of food, water, and barterable items, what should we be holding? What are you holding to the gentleman out there? I can tell you right now, I'm going to be holding real things. To me, it's about simplicity. It's to me right now about holding real, hard, tangible assets. If you don't hold it, you don't own it. These people that, I'm in the stock market, I made this, I made that. Yeah, you made probably $200 in the last month, $300 in the last month. The people making the money now are betting extremely big because these valuations are so high. The stock market is so overvalued, so overpriced. You got to bet big to win big. The average person cannot do that. And we have the average person with a Robinhood account betting everything that they have, all $2,200 of their savings, doubling down into these markets, and they're going to be tragically wiped out. And when they are, the people that mock us for holding those silver coins and those gold coins, the people that mock us for that, what are they going to be holding? They're going to be holding nothing, dust, zero, debt. They're going to be holding a nightmare is what they're going to be holding. So I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, and everybody out there really has to, continue to do what they believe is right. A couple articles I want to share with you, and remember, I'm going to show you later in this video some clips from my local mall. Borrow time, ladies and gentlemen, borrow time. Bill Gross warns Fed rate hikes will crack U.S. economy and housing market. Bond King, Bill Gross. I mean, this guy was big back in the day. He's made the news as of late, living in Laguna Beach, having this all-out feud with his neighbor in Laguna Beach. But he's a smart guy, and he fears that if the Fed follows through with plans to hike 25 basis points at each successive meeting this year, it will crack the U.S. economy and the housing market, sending the U.S. cratering into a massive recession. The Fed must stop worrying about the housing market. It must stop worrying about the stock market. It better start worrying about the U.S. currency, the U.S. worker, and the U.S. economy. But we hear so much that they're afraid to raise rates because it's going to affect the stock market. It's going to affect the housing market. The Fed's not there to protect the housing market or the stock market. It's there to protect people, the average U.S. worker. And I know they're not doing that. And this is really criminal. And it's really going to be the Fed that has caused the next Great Depression. The Fed has caused all this damage, unfortunately. And they've done quite the opposite. Instead of protecting the economy, instead of protecting the average worker, instead of protecting the currency, the US dollar, it has destroyed all of this. And it is going to take down the dollar and the economy now because it is so late to the party. They should have been raising rates 10 years ago, and now they're going to raise rates 25 basis points at every Fed meeting. It's not going to be enough, but this economy is so fragile that it's not going to take a whole lot to really turn it upside down. He says, I suspect you can't get rates above 2.5% to 3% before you crash everything. We're so used to low rates. The stock market, the economy, the banks, everybody, the average American, everybody is so used to these low rates. And now we're all going to pay a huge price here and feel an immense amount of pain. That is if the Fed does what it says and doesn't reverse course. If they reverse course, then we're going to have big problems because the inflation is going to absolutely steamroll the average American. So look, I don't know how it's all going to play out, ladies and gentlemen, but what I do know is that we're in big trouble, and we're in a corner. The Fed's in a corner, and either way they go now at this point, because of their irresponsibility, because of the massive money printing, the carelessness, the recklessness, the criminality, call it whatever you want, we are all going to pay an enormous price here as a nation, right down to the average worker. It's going to be biblical without a doubt. Wolfstreet.com, mortgage rates spike, home sales drop for 7th month, and suddenly here comes the new listings. Good article on Wolf Street. According to Mortgage News Daily, the average 30-year fixed mortgage hit 4.5% yesterday. 4.5%, ladies and gentlemen. The highest since March 2019. Since last fall, the average rate has jumped 1.5% from 3% to 4.5% since last fall. People buy homes not on the price, but on the monthly mortgage cost. They don't look at the price of the house. They look at the monthly cost, the monthly payment of that house. And can they afford the monthly payment? Just like they do when they buy a car, a truck, an RV, a boat, they're not, jet skis, you name it. They're not looking at the price. They're looking at, can I make that monthly payment? And just think that, let's just say 2023, rates are at 6%. That's over double than what they were last fall. So a $2,000 mortgage turns into a $4,000 mortgage. It's game over. And that's just at 6%. What if we begin to see things really heat up a little bit? We get to 7.5%, 8%. I know a lot of people out there will say that could never happen, JB, but we're already up 1.5% from last fall, and it's going to be climbing. And if the Fed stays true to its word, which who knows, and they're raising rates at every Fed meeting, what do you think this is going to do to mortgage rates? And you just look at the inventory that is going to start piling up into these markets, into the housing market. You look at inflation not slowing down anytime soon. Who in the world is going to be able to afford to buy a house, let alone rent a house? It's going to really, really start to get ugly here this summer. The hedge today, the contest against inflation is being lost despite rate hikes. We are using a teaspoon to bail out the Titanic, ladies and gentlemen. The economy is going down, and poor people can't afford to consume a lot. Whereas a couple years ago, a year ago, poor people could afford to consume a lot because they were getting a lot of money, a lot of free money. And now we're going to see a lot more poor people as their wages, as people who were once average middle class become poor because the inflation is going to destroy them, making them poor, and poor people cannot consume as much as a middle class group, and the middle class is shrinking. They're becoming poor. So poor people cannot afford to consume a lot like they once did, and this is going to be a problem. So we're going to see more stores and more restaurants going out of business, and we're going to continue to see this economy continue to suffer, just like the clips at my local mall. This is reality. This is a barometer of the real economy. And to me, it's another canary in the coal mine, another dying mall, another dying business, more people becoming unemployed, more tax revenue not showing up to the city. And surrounding businesses that are reliant on these malls are going to suffer, and they are suffering. Jim Rickards, The Last Straw, another article on the hedge today. If you get a chance, check it out. Good article. Just to paraphrase briefly, Russia is working with banks in China and India to re-establish hard currency channels. He says, good luck sanctioning gold. Russia has almost 2,300 metric tons of gold stored in Russia. It cannot be frozen. It cannot be seized or, ladies and gentlemen, shut off by a switch. See, that's the difference between gold and other Ponzi schemes or assets. Gold's real. Gold isn't a Ponzi scheme. Gold is the ultimate asset, and it cannot be shut off by a switch. It can be put on an airplane, ladies and gentlemen, and it can be flown to Beijing by lunchtime. So that's really important, because just think about that in your own personal life. When you look at gold and silver, real assets, not Ponzi schemes, not digital money, not digits on a screen. It's real. You hold it, you put it where you want to, and you can take it wherever you want to. It cannot be controlled. It cannot be seized, because nobody knows if you have it. Nobody knows where it's at. And I know a lot of people out there will say, well, they made it illegal many years ago, but they never seized it. They never went door to door. Remember, the U.S. government paid market value for that gold, and people thought it was their patriotic duty to turn it in, but they were paid market value before the U.S. government raised the price of gold, of course. But nobody ever went door to door. Nobody ever seized it. A lot of people, I think, are misaligned with what really happened back then. And the people that hung on to gold, obviously, it went up. And all you're going to do if you made it illegal is cause a massive black market where gold would go absolutely ballistic. But gold no longer backs our currency. So it's a barbarous relic that nobody wants. So why would the U.S. government ever want to seize it or make it illegal? But again, nobody knows where your gold is. Nobody knows if you have gold or silver. What's beautiful about it is it's really, really hard to track. Now, if your investments and your assets are on a screen, it can be shut off. It can be controlled. It can be tracked. Very hard to do when you have a physical asset at your disposal, hidden and protected wherever you want to put it. So that's the difference with gold and silver. And it's something you can leave your kids, your grandkids, that can be passed down that nobody knows. They're always looking to tax everything you have. Very hard to do with gold and silver. So again, if you look at how some countries are treating gold now and what they can do with it, this is another reason why you should have it. So it cannot be frozen, controlled, can't be shut off with a switch. You can throw it in your pocket and go. A question I have, maybe some of you can answer this, is what if China begins to buy this discounted oil from Russia, and maybe they're using gold, maybe they're using their own currencies, maybe they're using the SCHIFF system, whatever they're doing. But bottom line is, what if China starts buying this discounted oil from Russia and begins to sell it? What happens? So please answer me that. And what if they begin to sell it in other currencies? What if they sell it in yuan, they sell it in gold? This is beginning to become reality. And what if China begins dumping treasuries? Maybe not all at once, but what if they start unloading treasuries? What does this mean? These are things we need to start talking about. These are things we need to start being aware of, because the world is changing. I'm going to end it right here before I show you the clips of the mall here. But I'm going to end with this, and I've said this in the past, and I'm going to continue to say it. America put the world on the dollar standard. What happens when the world takes America off the dollar standard? We are beginning to watch the framework of that taking place right now. Check out this mall, check out reality, check out the real economy right here in Palm Desert, California, and tell me things are getting better. Comment down below, let me know your thoughts. Have a great weekend. God bless you all. You know it's bad when McDonald's closes in your local mall. That's closed. This one right next to it's closed. And the one next to that, I don't know what this was, is closed. Now it's just hanging sanitizers. So, unbelievable. So the old diner, this thing's been shut down for probably 5 years. And nothing's replaced it. What does that tell you? So it's been a while since I've been here and just running some errands at the mall here. I just wanted to take all of you with me and show you what's going on. But this mall used to be Westfield Mall. It's now in foreclosure. Bounced on a huge amount of money. Here's another one. I think they've defaulted on $125 million, if my memory serves me correct. But just really sad to see what's going on here. That used to be Sears right there, all closed up. So I've shot a few videos here, and it just is not improving. And in the meantime, the mall now has defaulted, and they've defaulted on a huge, huge amount of debt. So this place, you got to ask yourself, as I walk past the stores here, how many of them are even current on rent? Are they even paying rent? Why would you pay rent? The mall has completely defaulted. So how long does it all last? So they continue to dress up the windows. This place has been gone a long time. Completely gone. Another one right here, all covered up. It's all about, can you make the payment? Finance, people just financing everything. So I just want to shoot this video because, you know, the market's back up again today, and people telling me that everything's fine because the market's good. What about this? What about the economy? Used to be a pizza joint right here. It's been vacant for years. Big, big building right here. It's been vacant for years, ladies and gentlemen. These problems did not just start a year or two ago. That's been vacant for a very, very long time. We come down here, this corner building right here, Living Free Animal Sanctuary. This is just another vacant building that they're just using to donate to an animal shelter, which is great, but they're not paying a dime for this real estate. It's just unbelievable. And right next door, more window dressing. This whole thing is gone. Gone. Next to that, all this smoked out glass right here, all gone. All gone. Come over here, same thing, all this frosted glass, gone. All gone. Big stores. Another one right here. Oh, gone. Corner unit right here, gone. All gone. And then right across from that, more frosted glass, completely gone. Advertising movies. Another one. Next to that, another one. So, stock market's been up this week. Everybody is telling me things are improving, right? But the local economy, at least mine, is continuing to fail. Stores continue to close. We've had a couple really bigger places, a large furniture chain in my area, Moore's, right on Highway 111, Rancho Mirage, closing. And I believe the other one in La Quinta is also closing. And those buildings are probably 20+ thousand square feet closing. So it's just really sad to see what's happening. And people walk by this stuff and I guess believe everything's going to be okay because the stock market's up. Again, how long can you have stores and restaurants going out of business? And what happens to all this vacant commercial real estate? Here's another one, completely vacant. Look at that. They're just covering up the windows. This whole thing is gone. It becomes frightening because you just wonder, where is everybody going to work? I guess everybody will just shop online and everything's going to be fine. And this has no effect on the economy, but it has a humongous, enormous effect on the economy. How about the tax revenue? Look at that, all gone. Gone. Another corner unit right here, gone. Oh, this is gone. And how many of the stores right now that are here are paying rent? I bet you most of them are not. Look at this. Gone. And it gets really bad down here next to JCPenney's. All this is gone. And if you watched my last couple videos, this stuff was gone 2 years ago. Here's another one, gone. Unbelievable, isn't it? But the stock market's up, ladies and gentlemen. So that means everything's going to be okay. And it's unbelievable. Here's another one. This is all gone. This is all vacant. Literally like a half a block of vacancies. Look at that. All gone. And it's not coming back anytime soon. So they can tell you on the television how great everything's doing, that the economy is recovering, everything's going to be okay. But this is the reality of what's happening to your economy, ladies and gentlemen. But if it makes you feel any better, the stock market's up this week, but the economy is collapsing. So comment down below, how's this all going to play out?